Hello and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 2. I am Uyai Aniakan, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the major stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima says Tinubu committed to welfare of fallen heroes and families. Court adjourns suits challenging appointment of EFCC chairman until 2024. Plus, South Korea suspends military deal with North Korea after spy satellite launch. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. First in the news this afternoon is from the national scene, where the Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that President Bola Tinubu's administration is committed to the welfare of the Nigerian armed forces, including families of fallen heroes. Shettima made this known after he was decorated with the emblem of the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the Presidential Villa. This was contained in a statement by the senior Special Assistant on Media and Communications, Stanley Nwokocha. The Vice President noted that the administration's resolve was in acknowledgement of the sacrifices of service personnel to the unity of Nigeria and sustenance of global peace. Away from that, the federal government has disclosed that it has held discussions with the United Arab Emirates ambassador to Nigeria, Salem Al-Mashi, and Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State to seek support for its school feeding program. This was disclosed in a statement issued in Abuja today by the Senior Special Assistant to the President Tinubu on school feeding, Yetunde Adeniji. Adeniji said her delegation met with the UAE ambassador and the governor at the 52nd United Arab Emirates National Day celebration held in Abuja. She also affirmed that both men had expressed their willingness to give total support for the humanitarian cause being championed by the federal government. The development comes barely 1 week after the federal government announced its proposed plan to feed 100,000 displaced children in the north. Meanwhile, the federal government has announced the launch of a portal for the Startup Support and Engagement Portal. The portal, which is a key requirement of the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act, is meant to drive the identification and aggregation of startups in the country. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, disclosed this on his X handle. Tijani highlighted that the launch of the portal will allow the government to initiate the process of setting up startup consultative forums to select representatives to the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship to facilitate discourse and consensus among ecosystem players. He invited all Nigerian startup venture capital companies, hubs and innovation centers to register at the portal startup.gov.ng, adding that he looked forward to working with all industry stakeholders to ensure full implementation of the Startup Act for the benefit of the country's innovation ecosystem. In a separate development, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Aidu, has said that some stakeholders have expressed commitment to raise the sum of $5 billion annually to support various humanitarian interventions in Nigeria. The agreement was reached during a strategic meeting between the Minister, United Nations agencies and other development partners at the UN House, Abuja. This is contained in a statement issued to newsmen by the media aide to the Minister Rashid Zubair in Abuja. Edu explained that the meeting was aimed at building synergy to ensure a coordinated approach towards achieving a sustainable solution to Nigeria's humanitarian response. On judicial matters, the Federal High Court, Abuja, has fixed February 22nd, 2024 for hearing in the suit challenging the appointment of Ola Olukoyede as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Obiora Egwatu stated this today after the parties agreed that the date was convenient for all. The counsel representing NAS, Israel Obaniyi, told the court that the legal department of the Assembly passed the information to his team only on Tuesday. He said he would peruse the brief and file his response before the next adjourned date. Meanwhile, the EFCC lawyer R.O. Adakole also told the courts that he would also put his house in order before the next adjourned date. The judge subsequently adjourned the matter until February 22nd, 2024. In the meantime, Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, has granted the immediate past governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, bail to the sum of 300 million naira and 2 shorties in like sum. Justice Muazu said the shorties must have certificates of occupancy and titles of properties within the Maitama district. Emefiele is mandated to deposit all his travel documents with the registrar of the court and must remain within the Abuja Municipal Council. He's also expected to remain in Kuje Correctional Center pending when he meets the bail conditions. This comes 4 months after the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos granted him bail in the sum of 20 million naira. In another development, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has inaugurated a training program for female founders to promote diversity and close the gender gap in technology. The NITDA Director General Kashifu Inowa stated this during the program's debut that it was one of the agency's initiatives to increase digital literacy and give women the skills necessary to succeed in the tech industry. He stated that the initiative's goal was to empower and encourage women to use digital technology to create successful, scalable enterprises. According to him, 7,151 applications from all over the states were received in less than 2 weeks after the call for participation was announced. Back here on the home front, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino yesterday presented the 2024 Estimates Appropriation Bill to the State House of Assembly. In his presentation, the governor appealed for the timely passage of the budget for effective implementation. Our correspondent has the details.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has presented a budget estimate of 845.632 billion naira for the 2024 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly for consideration and approval. Governor Ino, who made the presentation on the floor of the state legislature, said the 2024 budget estimates, christened Arise Budget for Growth and Expansion, is made up of 352.917 billion naira for recurrent expenditure and 492.715 billion naira for capital expenditure. The governor told the lawmakers that the implementation strategy will be to partner with foreign investors, widen infrastructure base of the state, and expand and maintain infrastructure services in healthcare, amongst others.
As we review the performance of the 2023 budget, I'd like to inform you that a total of 850 billion was approved for the 2023 fiscal year, with a total recurrent expenditure of 394 billion and the capital vote of 455 billion.
Governor Ino, who thanked the 8th Assembly for the cooperation and support they've extended to him so far, pledged his readiness to work collaboratively with all, without rancor or acrimony, for the success of Akwa Ibom. He urged the State Assembly on the expeditious approval of the estimates, while assuring of his determination to the faithful implementation of the budget for the well-being of Akwa Ibom people.
I'd like to assure this Honorable House that we will continue to promote the values of Akwa Ibomites everywhere we are. We'll continue to work with Akwa Ibomites in the diaspora to ensure that we harness all of their potentials. And to make this happen, I've appointed a senior special assistant on diaspora matters who will help us coordinate all of our people.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemotong, has pledged the continued collaboration of the legislature with the executive arm of the government to ensure the implementation of the government's plan for the state and the timely passage of the budget.
In this regard, we have made immense conceptual legislations and resolutions that are geared toward giving legal backing to policies, programs, and other activities of this administration, as well as being a lifetime of His Excellency and Rights agenda. So far, we have recommended 2 people-centric bills and 57 motions, some of which are still at committee stage, awaiting scrutiny and public hearing. This would not have been possible without the tremendous support of our dear governor, and it is our expectation that those bills will be given due recognition when the governor assent is given to them.
The state government is proposing a 2024 budget estimate of 845.632 billion naira, as against the approved revised provision of 850 billion naira of 2023, representing a decrease of 0.5% from the 2023 revised budget. In Uyo, Jane Uwa, Spectrum Television News.
Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly yesterday said it will partner with the executive arm of government to fast-track development in the state. Speaker of the House, Udemo Dong, stated this when the state governor, Pastor Moina, appeared before the House for the presentation of the 2024 budget estimate for approval, during which he commended the governor for the major transformational strides in various sectors since his assumption of office. He assured the governor that the House, through effective legislation and oversight, will ensure that the 2024 budget delivers on its promises to stimulate the economy of the state, deliver inclusive growth, and prioritize the welfare of the people. The Speaker thus urged all ministries, departments and agencies of government to cooperate with the House of Assembly during the budget's defense sessions to aid speedy passage of the bill. We move now to Africa, where South African members of parliament have voted to close the Israeli embassy in Pretoria and to suspend all diplomatic relations. The governing African National Congress, which dominates parliament, has long been critical of Israel and supported the motion in parliament. The motion called for the closure of the embassy and suspension of ties until Israel agrees to cease fire and commit to binding negotiations. The motion was passed by 248 votes to 91. Still in Africa, Ugandan health authorities are currently investigating an unidentified disease outbreak that has reportedly killed at least 12 people in a span of 2 weeks in Koitera district in the central region. The authorities said affected patients had rashes on the skin which kept whitening before dying in a matter of days. Some had swollen limbs. Reports say Uganda's Ministry of Health has collected fresh skin samples from one of the patients who died at a local general hospital last week. Its findings are yet to be shared with the public. On the foreign scene, South Korea has suspended parts of its 2018 agreement with the North aimed at lowering military tensions. This comes after Pyongyang claimed to have successfully launched the spy satellite into space. The South Korea Prime Minister Han Duck-seo said the launch threatened the country's security. Seoul added that the country would resume surveillance flights along its border with North Korea, bridging a no-fly zone established under the military pact. Still on the foreign scene, voting for parliamentary elections in the Netherlands has begun today, as Paul Star said the race for the next Dutch leader will be a close call. The elections will determine a new direction for the Netherlands, as outgoing Prime Minister Mark Rutte has been at the helm of affairs in the country for the past 13 years. 4 political parties from the left to far-right political spectrums are competing to secure a leading position in the Dutch parliament. Over 13 million voters are expected to participate in the elections, casting their ballots between 7:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. local time. Still to come in the news. Argentina's World Cup winning coach Lionel Scaloni says he may resign. Stay tuned for details of this and more after the break.
Christmas season is here again. Are you aware that making your business or products visible on a television space gives your brand a wider visibility and patronage? In the spirit of the season, Spectrum Television is offering a whopping 25% discount on all services. Advertise your products and services while this offer lasts from 1st December 2023 to January 31st, 2024. We are a television with a passion to take your business and services on a satisfactory lane. You do not want to miss this opportunity. For more inquiries, visit our city office at number 2 Taft Plaza Close off Akaitinen Road, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, or call the following numbers on your screen. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Thanks for staying tuned in now to the rest of the news stories. On our business news, the World Bank has disclosed that rising inflation and low economic growth in Nigeria will push a further 2.8 million people into poverty by the end of 2023. It notes that Nigeria's high inflation reached a 17-year high of 24.1% year-on-year in July 2023, partly reflecting surging food prices and the temporary impact of the removal of the fuel subsidy. The Global Bank stated that a cumulative 725 basis points hike in the monetary policy rate since May 2022 has had little effect on reining in inflation due to clogged transmission channels, also weakened by direct credit allocation by the central bank and the continued monetization of the fiscal deficit. The bank further declared that federal fiscal deficit has risen to 63% higher between January and May 2023 than in the same period in 2022 due to increasing interest payments, higher capital spending before the elections, and the continuous large cost of the fuel subsidy. Still in business, the federal government has warned gas producers to stop discouraging awardees in the gas flare commercialization program from embarking on the project. It gave the warning at a meeting that had operators in the upstream petroleum industry and the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, in Abuja. In his address at the post-award engagement between the NUPRC and producers operating assets under the Nigerian gas flare commercialization program, Komolafe stated that the Commission would not accept any ploy by gas producers to dissuade successful awardees from embarking on the project. The federal government, through the NUPRC, had issued relevant letters of award to 42 individual companies for all 49 flare sites on offer in September 2023. On our health news, the Ogun State chairperson of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Adejoke Bello, says the existence of auxiliary nurses is not recognized in Nigeria's healthcare system, describing them as quags. Bello insisted that there is no such role in the nursing profession and that anyone claiming to be an auxiliary nurse is misrepresenting themselves. The NANNM chairperson stressed that many of those described as auxiliary nurses did not undergo the necessary training and licensing required to practice nursing in Nigeria. She added that registered nurses in Nigeria must complete a minimum of 3 years of training, followed by a licensing exam and registration with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Still in health, medical experts have said that with safe injection practices and policies in place, Nigeria can eliminate hepatitis C by 2030. The physician said it takes seriousness on the side of government to achieve hepatitis C elimination in the country. A professor of public health at the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Tanimola Akande, noted that Nigeria will make progress in the fight against hepatitis C if there are policies that would ensure safe injection practices in the country. He described hepatitis C as a dangerous blood-borne infection that affects and causes enlargement of the liver, saying there is the need for Nigeria to intensify screening and those found to be positive be given effective antiviral treatment. Now to sports, where Argentina's World Cup winning coach Lionel Scaloni has said that he is considering resigning after 5 years in the role. Scaloni made the surprise announcement after Argentina's 1-0 World Cup qualifying win over Brazil in Rio de Janeiro. The 45-year-old also led Argentina to the Copa America in 2021 before their World Cup triumph in Qatar last year. Still in sports, LeBron James became the first player to score 39,000 points in the National Basketball Association NBA as Lakers beat the Utah Jazz in-season tournament. Needing 5 points, he scored 17 in a 1-3-1-9-9 victory in Los Angeles that secured a quarterfinal place. James, age 38, surpassed Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's tally of 38,387 points in February to become the leading scorer of all time. James recorded 9 assists and 7 rebounds, and teammate Anthony Davis scored 26 points and made 16 rebounds. The Indiana Pacers reached the last 8 with 157-152 win at the Atlanta Hawks. On our entertainment news, Egun has risen to the top 3 on the chart despite the change in release date. According to the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria, the horror office drama feature recorded a total gross of 6,116,200 naira between November 17 to 19, 2023. Directed by Carmen Okoro, Egun is currently showing across cinemas nationwide. Still on entertainment, American rapper Rakim Mayers, popularly known as ASAP Rocky, is set to stand trial on charges related to an alleged shooting incident involving his former childhood friend Terrell Ephron. The incident, which took place 2 years ago, recently gained public attention after a viral video surfaced showing ASAP Rocky reportedly firing a handgun at Ephron. Reports say Rocky is now confronted with 2 felony counts of assault with a firearm, and if found guilty, he could potentially face up to 9 years in prison. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, Spectrum TV Live. This has been Spectrum Television News at 2. I am Uyai Anyek, and thanks for watching, and do enjoy the rest of your day.